Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming Terrain. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is a terrain video. I try to do one every 7 to 10 days, but because of model stuff and doing other bits and pieces on the channel and full-time work and, you know, having a little one, sometimes it stretches to maybe every 3-4 weeks. So this one's taken a long time to do, but not because it's big and grand, it's just other stuff's taken my way. All my regulars here, guys, I feel love, thank you very much. I'll see you in a second. Right, so what am I building on this video? Well, I was away beginning of August, and I went into a charity shop and I found a kid's dollhouse. Okay, cost me €3. It says three euros, and this is part of it. This was on the roof section, so the triangle bits that came up to support this, and it's held it all together. The reason I'm showing you this is because last week's boo-boo strikes again. Last week I the Sky Rangers painting video, and I accidentally deleted the footage of me painting them, so I hadn't finished them, so I had to go back to it on the Tuesday and finish them off. I finished other ones off and refilm it. Well, I deleted the footage of this, not the whole thing, just the intro section and this contraption. I took it apart, so I lost that filming. This is more other parts of it. Okay, it had all these around the sides, and then these door panels. These door panels, they're actually on string because they opened, yeah. But and this pattern you can see on it as well. I'm standing right into the light. That was across the whole thing. So, but you can already see with the shapes of the doors, the windows, how amazing that is. So I started taking it apart. Now this is on the original intro part I did. I started taking it apart and I literally flat packed it all down. So it was just like this, and then I could reconstruct it the way I wanted. Here's some more pieces, so that gives you an idea of the scale of it, how big it is. Yeah, these are side pieces. I made an interesting discovery. I thought it was wood. It's not. It's actually compressed card. I think this part is wood, but the all the walls of the door panels all compressed card, which is fantastic. So after this little section I'm filming now, you'll see the next part where I've taken it all apart. Okay, and then I've hot glued it back into a configuration that I want. It's basically the same sort of configuration that it started in, just minus the top bar and minus all of the sides. So I do apologise, guys. Hopefully that's the last blunder that I do for a long time. But sit back, enjoy the rest of the video, and yeah, I know someone's going to go, hold on. That's the reason why I haven't got that footage, because I actually deleted it last week. At the same time I did the Sky Rangers boo-boo. It was on the same sort of reel, because this has been filmed, this has been in the works for 3 weeks or so, maybe 3.5 weeks. It's not completely built, it's just time scale. You know, stuff going on here, stuff going at work, stuff going here. You know, I was under the pressure a little bit, but anyway, sit back, enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Right, so I took it apart and I put it all back together. Well, not all back together, but the top part together. Some of you are going to say, well, this is how it was first of all. Sorry, the camera's going weird on me. This is how it was first of all. Why did you take it apart to put it back together? Or what I've done is, I've turned the base over, as you see the serial number on the bottom now, because the bottom base had this thing, these two things on either side, on the other side, so it wasn't sitting flush. Only for me to realise it doesn't sit flush because the legs stick out, but it doesn't matter now. That's easy to fix because I can put a little step under there coming out. But I've hot glued it together. Okay, now the plan is to take some of this lovely material and start layering it, if I can get it in there, start putting some in there to make our flooring. But I'm not sure whether to do flooring like this, okay, or if to tile it with squares. I'm not sure. I'm putting some mesh up here. I'm not 100% sure yet. I've still got the other pieces, which are just over here. So they're going to go on to it to make some sort of ruins, or I could use them separately to make ruins. Some of them are broken, so I could actually use half a wall, you know, or half a wall up the top here, or something like that. What I need to do next is clear all these wispy bits. So a little bit there, that wispy bit, there's some more there, clear all them off of it. Then put the flooring in before I do any sort of, I might just spray it first and then put the flooring in if I'm going to go with this stuff, or I'm going to go with tiles. Either way, it needs to have a spray first, but I need to have a think about it, because even though this is here, or that's a hindrance, I could easily put a platform here and have it as like a dependable position, or I can put a platform coming off of it, or, you know, something like that. I don't particularly want to have stuff hanging off and make it bigger than the actual piece itself. Yeah, I'd rather have it this size. If it decides to focus, I want to have it this size, not have all bits hanging off everywhere. I mean, I know it does overlap here, but it could easily be turned into a platform, or I can actually take a blade and just trim now, because this is actually not, it's not wood. It looks like wood and it feels like wood, but it's not. It's actually hard cardboard. But definitely want to have a step or something coming out here. Maybe one on the other side, I'm not sure yet. But it's a little bit of thinking to do, a little bit wispy cleaning to do, and some thinking. But I'll come back to you when I've decided what I'm doing, guys. Right, so let me show you where I'm at with this terrain piece. So I've undercoated the bottom, okay? Now some people will say, why have you undercoated the bottom, not the whole thing? Because now I'm going to cut tiles, put tiles on it. Now I could go the easy way and cut the wire mesh flooring, and that look great. It still look fantastic, but I want to do tile flooring. Now, I do have a substance called weatherboard. Sorry, mount board. It's like a really thick card. I think it's like 2 mils or 3 mil. I think it's 2 mils. They usually put it against the display and have all bits and pieces on it. You can use that, or you can use serial card. Okay. Now, serial card isn't as thick. It'll soak the PVA glue up a lot quicker, but it should be fine. The reason I've undercoated the bottom of that only is because when I cut this and glue this on there, once that's dry, I can give it another little quick spray over. I don't really want to, when using serial card, I don't want to use wet paint on it, because the serial card, if there's any bits, will just start fluffing up, and I don't want that. So with the serial card, the first thing you do is pop the bottom of the box open, yeah? Flatten it down. You want to get rid of all these flappy bits, top and bottom. And then you want to carefully cut along the little line so that it opens it all up. Because then we've got all these surfaces, all these flat surfaces that we can work with. So I'm going to get on with that. Okay, and I'll come back to you in a minute. Right, so the best, there we are. Okay, nice and easy. Messed up a little bit there, but it's not a big issue. Now, you can get 1 inch by 1 inch squares. The best way to do this, you can measure it 1 inch by 1 inch, and then just draw lines, 1 inch intervals, then 1 inch intervals, it gives you the squares. Or you can get a model that's on a 1 inch by 1 inch square, draw around it, and just keep doing that until you have, and then you just cut lines and you have all the squares. I'm not going to go with 1 inch squares. I'm going to go with this size. Okay, so this is the size I'm going to go for, which is a nice big size. So that's going to cover that surface a lot quicker. So I'm going to get on with drawing those out and cutting those out. I'll come back to you when I've done that. Right, so that's done a rough little layout, as you can see. Nothing's glued down yet. I don't want to glue it up to the edge. There's two reasons for this. One, I'm going to put a wall or a partial wall in there. The second thing is, if I want to do steps coming off of it, I've still got no space to do steps. Well, what I've done now is I'm going to glue this down. So I've got a lid from, I believe this is expanding foam lid, but it could be a spray can lid, whatever. Put some PVA glue in there, lolly stick, and I'm literally going to get a tile, get a lolly stick, butter it like a bit of bread, put it in there. Next one, next one, next one, until that's all done. So see you in a second. Right, so I've got that down. I've got some bits of timber and just put it on top, just to act as a weight to hold it down, because the serial card will try and curl at the ends, so a bit of weight down should smooth it all off. When I come to take all that off, if there is a little end that's slightly up, I'll get super glue, work a bit of super glue and push it down, put a little weight on top of it for 5 minutes and it'll be done. Now, onto the side pieces. That's a nice one. I broke that by accident. That's how I discovered it's not wood and it's actually card. Yeah, so I might just leave them as two side pieces. So this can go along one side of the building nicely. This bit actually makes it fit into the side there, but I might trim that off so I can just glue it straight up. I'm not sure. So I might even take the saw off to the bits that are flapping over here and there. There's another amazing piece that can sit up on top. Absolutely fantastic. Give us a nice little, I don't know, something. Still not sure about those pieces yet. And I've got these two pieces. These ones were the ones that were on the string. These two pieces that I'm not going to have like this. I'm going to break them down a little bit. But I could just leave them as they are, glue them like that. I do some sort of walkway, going some sort of to make a ruins, take a corner piece off or something like that. I'm unsure at the moment. I'm going to have a think about that, because I can't do nothing else to it until the glue's dry. Because if I can't take these pieces, start hot gluing them on the side, because I have to take the weights off, and then I can't put the weights back on because so I have to wait for these to dry. Then I'm going to probably give it a spray down, just get it done out of the way. Then start looking at hot gluing this and hot gluing that, and carry on spraying it. I do want to have a platform on top, and figure out how to do that. I might just make some sort of walkway like this, and have it going across the top, but like a wider version. Glue a couple of rods underneath. I don't know yet. Well, I'll kind of come back to that idea anyway. But for the minute, I have to let it dry. See you in a minute, guys. Right, as you've just seen, I've undercoated it all black. It's virtually finished. The only thing for me to do is dry brush the tiles on the base of it. Now, normally, normally I would do a base coat on the building and then dry brush it down and do this and do that. But here's what happened. I put the tiles on, waiting for it to dry. I then gave it a spray down with some black spray. I didn't spray the whole thing. I just sprayed the tiles and the bottom half of the wall, because I was going to hot glue parts of the wall in to make parts of the damaged wall in, but I didn't want the underneath to be. I wanted it to be black, so that's what I did before I glued that on. And my little one came out and I said, "Oh, what do you think about that?" Because she saw it when it was originally, what you would have seen at the beginning, and she wanted it. And she said to me, "Wow, it looks really cool. Did you burn it?" I was like, "What do you mean, did I burn it? It looks like you burnt it." And I was like, "Hold on a second. A burned out building wouldn't be a stone colour. I think it would be burnt. It would be, you know, black, burnt, charred, with bits of colour coming through from the original stonework or the original whatever it is. So with this then, because that gave me an idea with this, I sprayed down with the black spray, but I didn't spray every single millimetre of it. So there's parts of the yellow that was originally coming through here and there, which gives you, looks like, makes it look like a proper charred, burnt building. So for me now, the only thing to do is dry brush the base, just to pop the base a little bit and make it, you know, sort of different. Now, with this particular build, I could build steps coming out the outside, I could build steps coming down and all that sort of stuff. And I was going to, me and Alex were having a conversation, and he said to me, that would be actually brilliant. In the battle report that we did, when we come to replay that, hopefully on a bit of a bigger size board, that would be brilliant if that was in the middle tile. And what I have to defend is inside, but I have a little perimeter outside. And he said to me, you don't need to do steps going in or coming up or anything like that. That takes away space from the inside. Anyone that was up on top would be presumably they would have got up there when there's not, you know, gunfight going on or anything like that. They would have got up there and just waited up there. And the means of them getting up there would have been taken away, so no one else can get up there and get them, apart from when they're swapping over. I said, yeah, that's very clever. So because of that, sorry, just chainsaw going off. Because of that, there's no steps on it going into it or going up to top level. And I was going to do a walkway across the top or something like that. And as Alex says to me, you don't need that, because the way it is at the moment, it looks fantastic. So all I'm going to do is dry brush the base, the tiles. You don't need to see that. I'm going to use a bit of maybe Screaming Skull or some Parisian Grey, I believe it's called, which is a very light grey, just to give the tiles a quick dry brush. Now with those tiles, because they are serial card, as soon as I flick the paint on them, it should just really catch it and really make it, you know, pop. But I'm going to do that, and I'm going to come back and show you the final pictures. If you want to know more about dry brush and stuff, chuck a comment below, and I'll, you know, show you guys. But I'll come back to you in a minute. Right, so it was the Parisian Grey. It's the airbrush paint, even though it comes in a small tub. I don't know why, but that's what I used. Now on the tiles, it looks great. I did it on top as well. I'm not too sure about that. I mean, you guys chuck on below, let me know what you think. But you know, I think for something that cost me £3, I think it was, €3 to buy from a charity shop, a little bit of modification here and strip it down, a bit of hot glue, and a bit of spray paint. It's a nice piece of terrain, and when we had the rematch of the last stand scenario we played last Sunday, I think it was, Sunday before, something like that, played recently, that's probably going to be the main place to defend. And there's a few more tiles I want to add to it, but anyway, I'm jabbering on. I'm going to bring you down, show you some pretty pictures. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, to give you some ideas, inspired you to do stuff, please like and subscribe, turn on your notifications. We don't have to share the video, but it's nice because you can bring this video and my channel to other people's attention. And I'm rubbing it on again. I'll bring some pretty pictures. Until next time, hit the buttons for me. See you later, guys.